Yeah, I see a lot of couples that work in this industry that are strained.
Oh, hell yeah. 2018 was like every YouTube couple broke up.
Yeah.
It was like We Broke Up was the number one title for videos, you know?
So many of those videos.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment. What's up? This is Kane.
And Pia, and you're watching us on Livin Large.
Good day, mateys. Welcome into the podcast. Another episode of Livin Large. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up and leave a comment. And also, if you're listening on a podcast app, rate us 5 stars so we can pass Logan Paul to that #1 spot. Today's guest, the reason I introed with good day, mateys, are 2 Australian mateys of mine.
G'day, possums.
Cade and Pete. Why you say possums?
Possums is like a small rat animal that is...
Yeah, we have those in America.
Okay.
He just thinks it's the most Aussie thing he can possibly say.
Yeah.
But wallabies.
G'day, wallabies.
That's not the same.
Welcome onto the show, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
First and foremost, congratulations on being married finally.
I know.
I was wondering what Kane was doing.
She was spending all my money, that's why. Every time we got enough money to kind of buy a ring, I would like see it just disappear, and then there'd be like a new Chloe bag and a Burberry bag. Okay, we'll wait another 6 months.
That's awesome. So you guys are coming into town for your annual Coachella trip. Are you excited for? I know Kane looks forward to this like every year.
It's the only time of the year I get to see you.
What do you do in Australia? You hanging out with any mateys?
Not really, no.
No?
We don't have many creators in Australia.
What's let's just jump right into the married life. What's the married life been like?
Do you know what? It's kind of the same. We've
Really?
been together for 9 years.
That's a long
like,
time.
We have, a house, a dog, all that sort of stuff. So we basically just put rings on, and now he's already lost his ring.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Like 12 weeks in.
You lost your ring. You're at the bar.
The day before going to the club, I was like, oh.
So happens to come to Coachella, doesn't have a ring.
Well, actually, after this, we're going to go train, and then we're going to go buy a ring. We've already teed
Why
it
in
up.
America?
But
Why?
what do you mean?
Just because I won't let him go to Coachella with that one.
I was like, why buy the ring in America?
No. We got the ring sorted. We're gonna get it this afternoon.
That's
Yeah.
good. I want to talk about this because Pia, you guys have built an empire on Instagram and YouTube. You used to be a lawyer?
Yes. Yeah, I was a corporate lawyer before
Like
this.
actual lawyer or trying to be a lawyer?
No, I was a full-time corporate lawyer. Yep, did all that. And basically about a year into the workforce, I just decided that I really didn't like it anymore. So we actually started a business. So our intent was never really to go and become content creators or YouTube or anything like that. We wanted to start a business together, which we did. And we launched eco-friendly yoga mats and things like that.
Oh, so you started like an e-commerce thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't
Before
know
we
that.
knew we could sell it on social media.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started an e-com store. Basically, I would go every single day to the law firm, do like a 10-hour day at work, and then come home. And in our 1-bedroom apartment, we had like 400 yoga mats just stacked in there.
Whoa. You guys were really bootlegging.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
We even have photos of me like on the floor of this apartment, hand packing it all and like responding to customers at 2 a.m. and stuff like that.
So how did you guys, before social media, how did you sell yoga mats? Like, how did you get the word out?
Well,
Well, this is a funny story. Pia was at a law firm, and I was working as a graphic designer. So between us, we had our regular bills and our monthly mortgage and all that sort of stuff. Didn't have much money to spare, but we wanted to do something that was outside of kind of what we were doing on our 9 to 5s. So Pia decided that she wanted to start working on this yoga mat project, which I backed fully. But we kind of had very limited money to make this happen. And as it happens, when all the yoga mats turned up and we kind of had our last $5 into this business project, we realized that all the yoga mats were faulty. They were
what?
printed upside down.
Oh, no.
So we had to send them all back and get them fixed again, which cost more money. So then we had a house full of yoga mats, but actually didn't have any money to promote it.
Yeah.
So then we looked around and thinking, what do we do? Like, we're screwed. Like, we've started this business. We didn't plan it properly. We didn't have enough budget. And now we've got a house full of yoga mats and don't know what to do. So we kind of just figured out that maybe we'd take a photo on Instagram and see if any of our close friends want to buy a yoga mat, and maybe that would get the money rolling.
Right.
And that's kind of how it started.
I literally had like 300 followers. So I was
From,
just
like,
like a
friends.
normal,
Yeah.
I wasn't creating content or anything. He was like, babe, let's get on the roof, do a yoga pose. I'm going to take a photo of you and we're just going to see if anyone wants to buy them. And so we posted a few photos. Kane was pretty handy with a camera at the time already because he's like a creative.
No, I wasn't.
You're better now.
Much
Pretty
better now.
handy. And so we posted these photos and all of a sudden one of our friends contacted us and was like, hey, I have a yoga studio. I'm not sure if you know. I'll buy 100.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
And how many did you have in stock?
Like
I think 400.
Oh, so she bought a quarter.
Yeah, honestly,
like-
it kick-started our business.
Yeah.
And we didn't even give her time to kind of second guess it. We were like, yeah, sure, let's do this. We got a van, loaded it up, and I went and got the cash straight away. And
Like-
that was how we started.
literally physically drove it there and we're like, please take these.
So that's how you started the yoga mat business. But how did you get popping on Instagram?
Well, that's what
And
we just kind
why?
of realized from this. We realized that putting it on Instagram might be a good way to reach people. So then basically every weekend we would like go out together and go take all these photos and just put a little bit of effort into content. And
This is when you were still working as a lawyer and a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Both full-time.
That's what a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand. They think that they could just like quit what they're doing and just be a full-time
No.
social media star. So
No.
I think I was still taking Pia's photos for a year and a half before I quit my job.
yeah.
And Pia quit her job after 6-8 months?
Yeah, about 6 months after starting the business and starting to kind of get a bit of growth on Instagram. Because for some reason, I found it so much easier to build my personal page than the business page.
Right.
So that one kind of just took off a lot quicker. And then we found out after a while we had 50,000 followers and then 100,000 followers. And then all of a sudden, other brands were contacting us and being like, hey, can we send you some gifts or can you
Right,
shoot
right.
for us? And this is kind of before the word influencer was really like a massive, thing.
Right.
So
We're
we
going
were
back
just,
4 years now.
yeah,
3
yeah,
years.
back 4 years. And so then all of a sudden my social media just kind of took off because we were just putting effort into it to try and grow a business. So yeah, incidentally we built a social media.
Yeah.
I think also at the time Pia got a lot of press because this girl from the law firm had quit to go and do
Right.
Instagram. It was kind of like unheard of.
And 4 years ago, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now a lot of people, obviously they still get the degrees in whatever they're doing, but they still want to pursue social media, which is fine. But back then that was kind of like a big deal and a lot of people reported on it. And then a few magazines for some reason were reporting that she was charging $400,000 a post.
False news.
False news, but hey, it got a lot of attention. I think one day her Instagram grew by 160,000.
Yeah,
In one day?
In one day.
From just the press.
I hit 1.5 million and then the Daily Mail wrote an article saying oh my gosh, 1.5 million. Because in Australia, the numbers aren't as big as here in LA. And so that was kind of newsworthy. And then it was on do you remember the Snapchat news feed?
Yeah, yes.
It was literally on that. And then the next day I hit 1.6.
Wow.
I was like, yes. And then we tried to replicate it. And it didn't
Yeah, I was
work
going
at
to
all.
say, there's not a lot of influencers that come out of Australia.
Yeah, I know. It's a really
Especially
small...
dudes.
Oh yeah.
You see a bunch of girls, but all I know is Alex Hayes, really, is
Yeah.
and you guys that I think of as content creators.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, it's still a weirdly taboo role. I think that people still don't quite view it as a real job in Australia.
Right.
A lot of my friends that don't work in social media still think it's funny. They still oh yeah, you're just going around taking photos on holiday. It's no, it's not that at all.
Right.
If you think that we're just taking photos on holiday and having fun, then we're doing a good job.
I even saw when you were throwing up on your IG story the timeline for your guys' wedding video. I know you spent some hours on that shit.
Yeah, that was a long video, and we had 7 videographers for that as well.
Oh, 7. Oh, so you had a lot of footage. A lot of footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
How
our
did-
honeymoon, him just sitting there editing our wedding video the entire
But
time.
that's
So
good.
romantic.
It's good because you guys still hustle and you still love to do it. How did you guys meet in the first place?
That was a weird one. I was actually working as a designer, and I was booking a model to kind of do some small TV presenting, almost webisode presenting. I saw Pia's profile and I was like, that'll do. That'll do. That's terrible. This girl
Love
will
you
be
too,
great.
babe.
I was like, this girl will be great. So I called her up, and we had a 5-10 minute conversation about the job. And then it turned out to be 4 or 5 hours later, we were still on the phone.
Yeah, he was just super funny.
chatting.
Just talking?
It was so weird.
We just had the weirdest banter. We'd never met or anything like that. I was just
Yeah.
oh, English accent.
Oh,
And
you're
so-
English.
Yeah.
Originally. She didn't even know what I looked like at this point.
No way.
And so we started talking on the phone, added each other on Facebook, started kind of just messaging back and forth. And then I think 4 weeks later, And we'd been on the phone a lot at this point, like 2-3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Complete old school pen pal style,
Yeah.
Long distance thing. And I called her up and said, hey, what are you doing for breakfast tomorrow? And we lived 950 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Which is how many miles? Like,
I don't know, like
2,000.
3 million.
It's like an hour and a
something
half
like that. I don't know.
flight.
okay. So that's pretty far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was
It's like
a
here to
flight.
Vegas.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And I called her and said, what are you doing for breakfast tomorrow? And she goes, oh, nothing. Why? And I said, meet me for breakfast. And this kind of blew her mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, for me, that's kind of...
I was like, what do you mean you're in Sydney? Because I was on the Gold Coast.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, no, I'll fly there. So the next morning he flew to the
breakfast.
Gold Coast for breakfast.
That's pretty fucking dope.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't like... It blew her mind.
For the day?
No, for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
We
you went
literally
home.
had breakfast. I got the midday flight home.
Yeah.
How much money did you drop on this ticket?
Quite a lot.
That's some effort right there.
Yeah, it was
you knew
worth
what
it.
she looked like, though.
Yeah, that's
And
why
did
I
you know
dropped
what
the
you
why I
knew
dropped
what
the money.
you know what he looked like at this point?
Yes. So we had added each other on Facebook and stuff by this time. So we
Okay.
and we'd also Skyped and stuff. So this wasn't like creepy at this point. We just really wanted to meet.
Her
And he
mum
was
thought
like,
it was creepy. Her mum made me meet her within like 5 minutes of me landing. It was
way.
so strange. I landed. Pia picked me up. She goes, oh, I've just forgotten something at the office. We've got to pop in there. Next minute, I'm like, oh.
That was a plot.
Hi, Mrs. Muhlenberg. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Well, at least you met her on the first date.
Just double checking I wasn't a psycho.
Yeah, right? You're going to come like murder her daughter. How old are you at the time?
I was 20.
How old are you?
35 now.
Okay. So this was 9 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like? A little age gap there.
Yeah. Oh, totally fine. I'm much more mature than he is.
Oh, wow. I mean, I would kind of agree with that now.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's why I love him, because
Well,
he's like a kid.
It was me
Exactly.
that lost the passports, the camera, the wallet, the money, and our IDs last year at Coachella.
Yeah. I lost my camera, so who's the responsible one?
We
in
have
the
to go find
relationship?
them.
I know, right?
We're after this, we're going to go buy a metal detector. Maybe we should tell everyone what happened. Actually, last year at Coachella, we got out of our Uber because somebody wasn't feeling so well, and I put
For
my
what reason?
yeah, I don't know.
Too much boozing?
I think a little bit tequila, and we put our backpack down. Or I put my backpack down. Then we got back in the Uber, and it wasn't until we got back to LA we realized we left everything just somewhere in the desert.
We.
Me.
Just too hungover, just
Yeah,
no
didn't-
regard for
didn't
any
even think.
responsibility.
Lost it all. But then when we got back to Sydney, I remembered I had a Tile GPS
Right.
tracker in my bag, and we triggered it, and I now know exactly where the bag is.
Still?
Yeah.
Hasn't moved.
So we are legitimately.
Whoa, wait.
My backpack is in the desert. I know exactly where it is.
Wait, it's still in Palm Springs?
Yes. And we can track exactly where it is. So we're going to get a metal detector and go there. We're going to vlog the whole thing and try and find the backpack from last year.
Do you think someone took the bag and just threw the tile out?
I don't know. I'm just hoping the bag's not in like some big bikie's house.
Yeah.
But where'd you leave it? Do you remember?
Yeah, vaguely. Like just on the side of the street. And then there was a
In the desert. Like,
yeah, in the desert. Like not in between houses, just like in the desert. We stopped the cab so that someone could have a
And you just-
moment.
So you think it's just next to the road somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a sandstorm the next day in Coachella.
So you think
in
it's just
Indio,
covered up?
So I think it's covered up.
I want to find this thing.
No, right? I want to see all last year's photos and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like a
we
time
haven't-
capsule.
All our pictures are on there.
That's so sick, though.
Yeah.
I hope it's there.
So do I.
What kind of camera is it?
Sony RX 100.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay.
a little one.
Yeah.
Because you
Oh, I
can't
thought-
take big cameras into Coachella.
But what else was in the bag?
Our 2 passports. So after.
Oh, yeah. How'd
after
you get back to Australia?
We spent 2 days in immigration
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
after Coachella last year. Just
That's a
trying to.
You know, that's the biggest disaster. I was in the Bahamas and I lost my passport. You have to go to the embassy.
Yeah.
And you
That
have to
was,
sit
it was the
there.
embassy, right?
It's a pain, isn't it?
It's such a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. Don't lose your passport in another country.
No way.
Do not go out drinking with your passports in your backpack.
Yeah, that's a definite no-go. Hopefully we'll keep it together this Coachella. I know I'm not going to.
So you learn a lot from our vlogs.
Yeah.
Very educational.
Well, I want to talk about your vlogs because I saw on the way here you tweeted something about YouTube. Someone claimed your video that had 12 million views and then
Yeah.
they took it down. Has YouTube been frustrating for you guys?
Very.
Why?
Because there's no kind of right or wrong. Like some of our videos get demonetized, some of our videos go super viral. The one that got claimed yesterday had 12 million views. It was our holiday in the Maldives, and had 12 million views, which is great. You know, we'd already made the money on that months ago,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that we've got the cash. That's fine. But what happened was someone stole our video, or took all of our B-roll, took all the clips of Pia running on the beach and all that sort of stuff, and then put their own music video to it. Uploaded that to YouTube as their music video, with a record label backing it. And they've now claimed my video as stealing their content, even though we're in it.
And we shot it all.
And
They've
they never
stolen our
gave you
content.
any call and said, hey, can we use this
No.
footage?
And now YouTube have sided with the artist, not
Because
us.
of the label.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, man? I get about 40 to 50 emails a day of YouTube claiming my videos.
Really?
Bro, this was our first one, and I'm freaked out.
I'm at the point where I might just start a new channel because I'm not even kidding you. Every single one of my videos, you know when I would do on my vlogs, but first?
Yeah.
They're claiming that 2 words
Oh, you're
for the
kidding.
song Selfie because I use but first, so they're claiming my whole video.
way.
You know SpongeBob time cards?
Yep.
2 hours later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Claiming my whole video.
Oh my goodness. And
This
that's
is
in,
what
like,
I
all
don't
of
get
your
when it
vlogs.
comes to this kind of shit. It's like you make a 15 to 20 minute video and you use a fucking second
Yeah.
of someone's content and they can take all the money from the whole video.
Yeah.
I mean, logic would state that you would just be able to claim the portion, right?
Right.
And then fair enough, yeah, take that 0.01%.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But yeah, small creators are getting penalized massively at the moment.
And there's nothing you could do because I get an email from like UMG and it's like manually claimed your video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tell me the song. It just says manually claimed. So I would have to look at the email, then go to the video, which
Yeah.
it just says manually claimed, and see, oh, they claimed this part. Then I have to watch the whole fucking video.
Yep.
And then go edit it and then trim it. It takes a day to process that edit on YouTube. And then how long does it take for them to review it that see that you like for me to do that to 100 videos
Yeah, it's
just
not-
because I use but first is outrageous.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's us venting about YouTube drama over here. But speaking of drama, you guys are pretty happy channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try and keep it good vibes.
Why do you not do drama? Or why don't you include like I know you guys live real life, you get in arguments. Why don't you include that kind of like banter?
I don't know. I think we're kind of open to it. It just hasn't really. I think what happens with us with the vlogs, especially when we have the camera on, is even when stuff is going wrong, we kind of use that. We get excited about when things
Right,
go
right.
wrong because then we're like, oh, there's kind of a bit more of a story to our vlog, like a bit of a challenge to overcome. And for us, I think we just have like a funny attitude about it where. Maybe if the camera was off, we would be like, oh my gosh, we've forgotten all our bags. Or,
Right,
something
right.
would be really, it would kind of annoy us. But because
Right.
we're filming, we just have like this totally different attitude. And I guess we sort of see, like we put out the personality that I guess we like mirror in
Yeah, yeah.
ourselves, you know, and like what we want to be. And that's actually what we found is so nice with us vlogging because now we rarely get in arguments. We work together, we live together. We
How
are
is that?
together all the time.
I know that's very hard from personal
Yeah,
experience.
so it's
Yeah.
you know what? It could be really hard, but as Pia says, when you're filming everything,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to be the person that you want your dog to think you are, you know, that sort of
Yeah.
mentality. When you are filming everything, if something goes wrong, like for example, we losing the passports last year, technically Pia should have been really mad at me.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
should have been what every girlfriend does. How are we getting home? All this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And when the camera's on, and all of a sudden it's kind of funny that I just put the bag down because she was feeling sick, and then we have to kind of work out how to get home, and we're stuck in a foreign country. That's actually kind of good content for a vlog.
Yeah, yeah.
Something happened in the Maldives on our family honeymoon, our family moon, and I forget what it was now, but basically her mum and her dad were like, "Is he doing this just for the vlog?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. This is actually real life stuff is happening."
Yeah.
But when the video is rolling, you just have to be the best person you can be,
Right.
Because there's no point dwelling on the negative and just going down that path. Because I don't think that's what people want to see.
I just think we're not big arguers in terms of, we both came from, really regular jobs. We love what we're doing right now. And because we do it together, I think there's this sort of best friend mentality where we're working as a team. And of course, every now and then we'll have like a bit of a bicker when, he's
Right.
taking my photos and I'm like, no, another one.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of thing. But I don't know. We don't have these huge arguments. I think we're just both really excited at where we are at this point in our life. We're having a lot of fun. When we get like a little success or something, we'll happy dance together. So we don't have this kind of like friction in the relationship.
Have you always had that type of relationship, or ever since you're married, it's like, okay, everything? Or have you guys basically lived your lives like you're married for the last 9 years?
I mean,
Pretty much.
since you moved in, yeah. But I think also after 9 years, if you're arguing and bickering over little things, then there might be a bigger underlying problem that you need to kind of look at
Right,
as
right.
well. I think once you spent a lot of time together, it just kind of, you become this weird codependent mess where everything just works.
Yeah, we're just really comfortable with each other. And if there is like the sort of start of an argument, I think we both just sort of have this mentality where we just like be quiet for a couple of minutes and we totally get over it, and then we just carry on because we know.
I just sulk for like 2 hours.
Yeah. And then we kind of just move on. So there's not that much drama to. I mean, I would for sure like show some drama. We just got to get a bit more exciting, don't we, babe?
Maybe on the let's transition here. What's your new podcast about?
Oh, it's called What on Earth.
What on Earth?
Yeah.
Okay.
WOT on Earth.
What does that mean?
Can I read you the description?
So guys, they're gonna be coming out with a new podcast. So if you love the angelic Australian accent, they're gonna be doing that. And now you're gonna reveal what your podcast is gonna be on my podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Livin large.
What better place?
You got to say what on earth?
What on earth? Yeah, well, that's it. That's the intro done. So, Pia and I like to have these kind of glass of wine, in-depth conversations about life in general, and just trying to work out things that maybe we don't really understand, that we should understand as adults, right? So the podcast, the way I think we should describe it is this. The show is called What on Earth, and it's the show where we discuss things that confuse us and make us question, should we have paid just a little more attention at school?
Okay.
Right? That wasn't the response I was hoping for.
Well, can you read it again?
It's the show where we discuss things that confuse us and make us question, should we have paid a little more attention at school?
So how are you going to come up? You're just going to come up with. It's going to be like an educational type thing.
An education for adult idiots, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
So, for example, clouds. What are they?
Cumulonimbus.
Why do they float? If they're water, why don't they drop? Simple stuff.
They
like
do
that.
drop rain.
Yeah, but not all the time. There's simple things there that I know the theory of that water goes up, it floats, but what makes it come down? We want to explore basic education that most adults should know that we don't.
I feel like instead of like drinking wine during this, you should probably smoke weed or something.
Yeah, well, we live in Australia.
I know, if we were here.
Different story.
Oh, that's going to be good. When are you guys going to start that?
As soon as we get back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've actually got it all set up. It's not quite as pro as this
this
setup
is
here.
next level.
But it's going to be very intimate. Are you going to have guests on the show?
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
sure. Well, I think we're going to do like 6 episodes just between us first. Get a feel for it, get used to podcasting, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
You guys are very good at planning. You're like, we're going to do 6 episodes. You plan your wedding. You plan your honeymoon. You plan out your videos.
Yeah, you got to plan that stuff. You can't just rock up at your wedding.
Well, I wanted to talk about going back to like the couple dynamic. How do you guys balance work so one person's not doing all the work? Because you're editing the videos. Do you do more of the Slinky? And we want to talk about Slinky, your brand?
Yeah, we have a really interesting dynamic because KANE is super creative and I'm a little bit more analytical. So
Right.
with me being a lawyer, I pretty much handle, the sort of admin type things, a lot of our contract negotiation, dealing with the briefs from clients with like sponsored content and all that. It's kind of turned into me like sort of liaising on that part and then scheduling his creativity in. So he does all the editing and all the shooting and everything like that. But I feel like I do a lot of the emails.
Yeah.
He won't read a contract if I slapped it in the face
Well,
with
do
it.
you guys have a lawyer? Or do you like use your lawyer skills to lawyer?
Our manager is actually a lawyer as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that works out.
Yeah. I don't really practice anymore, but still I feel like having that degree has helped me a lot because I don't think a lot of people realize that, being an influencer, at the end of the day, you're actually running a company. It's a legitimate business.
It's a media company.
We hire staff, we have 2 different companies, and even that like corporate governance and everything that goes into running that, I'm really glad that I have the legal background to support me with that. Otherwise, I feel like I would be a little bit lost with what we do.
Right.
So that's kind of how we split our responsibility. KANE does all the video editing and I do sort of, a bit more of the business running, I guess.
That's awesome.
We have a rule as well at 8 p.m. every day, regardless of how busy we are or if I've still got an edit to get out or whatnot. At 8 p.m, phones off, computers off, we just chill out on the couch,
Snuggle
have a
the
glass
dog.
of wine, watch TV, just have to have that time because it's so easy. I mean, you must know this. It's so easy when you're in a relationship with someone that you're working with as well. Suddenly from 6 a.m. till bedtime becomes work.
Yeah.
You wake up, you check your phone, and before the person's even brushed their teeth, you're asking them like a contractual question.
Yeah.
And that kind of really takes the vibe and the buzz out of an actual relationship as well.
No, I agree 100%.
So we have this rule. we try to not talk about work before breakfast. That doesn't always work. But then definitely 8 p.m. onwards until like midnight, no work talk.
That's really good.
Which is hard to do when you work in social media, because where do you draw the line between you just being on it for like leisure and just browsing and consuming content, and where does that turn into, oh, you're working or you're researching and stuff like that. So yeah, we just decided that we need to sort of switch phones off and make sure that we
That's a really good rule.
I don't think it would work otherwise. I think we'd be at each other's throats.
We'd be business partners.
No, I think it's hard because, like, obviously I did the whole work, relationship, live together thing, and it's like probably one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, because it's to separate the balance between all three. Because like normal people, I guess, not in social media, go to their job. Their other goes to their job, and then they come home and they spend that quality time together.
Well, and that quality time is spent discussing the stuff that you did separately. If you're together all the time, I don't need Pierre to come home and tell me what you did 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So it's hard. It really is. But obviously it's a blessing to be able to do what I do, to be able to do what you guys do. So like every, obviously, work relationship has its perks and its trade-offs. But that's really awesome that you guys have been able to manage it, because I know how hard it is firsthand. And it didn't go my way.
I see a lot of couples that work in this industry that are strained.
Oh, hell yeah. 2018 was like every YouTube couple broke up.
Yeah.
It was like We Broke Up was the number one title for videos,
So many of those videos.
I know. Yeah.
No comment.
It does get hard, like especially if you're really busy. We have a fair few brand deals that in the last couple of weeks we've had to do, and I feel like it's been really quite full on, especially when you're creating content that you're not just doing for fun, but a lot of them are like, client briefs and stuff like that. That's when it does get really hard. But I don't know. We've been together for such a long time that...
Yeah, you guys are have basically been married for 9 years.
Basically, I would say so.
Yo, guys, I interrupt this episode to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Blinkist. In today's day and age, we talked about it on the podcast today. It's going to be hard. It's hard to find some time to sit down and actually read. We got social media. It's so time consuming. It's so addictive. You don't have the time to read a book or develop yourself. That's where this app Blinkist comes into play, guys. It's the only app that takes the best key takeaways, the need to know information from thousands of nonfiction books, and condenses them down into just 15 minutes so you guys can read it or listen to it. I mean, I'd rather spend 15 minutes reading a whole book than a whole 5 hours. I use Blinkist because, like I said, I don't have to spend as much time reading. I can get all the information that I want to know. There's some popular books on there: The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and The 4-Hour Workweek. Some of my favorites that are on there. Guys, right now, for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer for our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/large to start your free 7-day trial. That's Blinkist, spelled Blinkist. Blinkist.com/large to start your 7-day free trial. Blinkist.com/large. I want to talk about your brand Slinky. So you guys started off making yoga mats.
Yeah.
And now you built the following, and how's that worked out for you for the bathing suits now?
Yeah, it's great. So what we did was we started with yoga mats, and then once we made a little bit of money there, we expanded into sportswear. So we started making tights and sports bras and t-shirts and stuff like that. And
more female driven?
Currently it's entirely.
Okay.
Yeah. So currently it's entirely female driven, but what we came up with was that every product that we made was made with recycled fabrics.
Oh, wow.
So everything's made from recycled fishing nets that they actually pull out of the ocean.
Whoa.
And turn into fabric, and that's what we use. So then we recently expanded into swimwear in the last year or so, and now we've got the 2 different warehouses. So we've got one warehouse here in Chicago, which means we can deliver to the USA a lot quicker, because we were struggling from Australia to send to the USA, because it took like 7 to 10 days and whatnot, and everybody here wants things like immediately.
Yeah, of course.
So we've
Prime.
Post-Mac generation.
Yeah. So now, we've got the warehouse here and one in Australia, and it runs great. We've got a couple of staff, in Australia sort of running it.
Did you come up with that name, Slinky?
Yeah, we came up with it together.
Meaning?
Not so much. It was more the feeling of the name that we liked. But Kane and I, honestly, we just looked at we wrote down all these different words, and we just wanted something that was a bit abstract, like didn't have a proper meaning to it. And so, Slinky just stuck.
We just kept saying, go to the gym and get Slinky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the hashtag became Get Slinky, because the girls are going to the gym to try and get Slinky. I don't know. It was just kind of a fun play on words.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. And you do that all e-commerce?
Yeah.
Or do you have any in
So
stores?
we were stocked in 150 stores last year. But without getting into too much depth, when you do stock in a store, obviously you've got to give a huge reduction in your fee so that the store can make money. And so actually we pulled back all of our stockists one in October last year, and now our revenue's doubled.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
From only selling online, our revenue has gone up 200%.
So we've pulled it in. Now you can only get it at slinky.com. And it means that we're actually in control of the entire customer experience as well, because when the stockists were selling it, they weren't packaging it the way we do. You know, they might not have had the right customer service. And this just brought us into control of the label again. And yeah, doubled our sort of
This is
profit
probably
margin.
one of the most important things that people need to learn. Like when you become a social media influencer or whatever it is, you can't really rely on YouTube AdSense and brand deals.
No.
You kind of have to start, which your business, your guys' YouTube and Instagram is a business. And now you have to start an actual business where you can like make money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, isn't the phrase that you've got to have, if as a self-employed person, you should never rely on like one revenue stream. You should have, I think, 7 different sources.
That's what I have. I have like 7 different revenue streams.
So that could be an affiliate link. It could be YouTube AdSense. It could be Instagram brand deals.
Merch.
But then, you know, they're all things that are out of your control. And that can then really hit you when things like the algorithm change.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you can't guarantee 500,000 views because, well, that's not your fault.
Yeah.
For some reason, YouTube now favor this guy over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And then your business is kind of, you know, in someone else's hands. So yeah, we've kind of gone down this route of trying to be in control of our business as a self-employed person, and Instagram and YouTube are the bonuses.
And
you
also
know?
focusing on building an email database so that our entire business doesn't just sit on, you know, a third-party platform. We always think to ourselves, like, imagine if we had 2 million followers on MySpace. You know, we're like, we can't
It's
sort of
gone,
sit here.
yeah.
We've quit our, you know, previous careers to
right.
do this. So, like, it just seems like we're kind of foolproofing ourselves a little bit by having, you know, a business. And we've got a couple of other projects that we're working on that we're going to launch soon to just diversify the revenue streams a little bit, because, yeah, we don't want to be sitting on MySpace.
Right. How important would you say as like a business owner to give out, like, because you guys obviously have built a lot of relationships in the social media space where you have all these people, all these friends that have millions of followers. How important is it to reach out to them and gift people stuff? Do you guys do that?
Yeah, we do that. With everything that we drop, we send out a fair bit of gifting.
Would you say that the majority of your business is driven from you guys alone, or would you say relationships, or?
I mean, that's constant evolution, actually. So when we first started, we didn't know anyone in social media.
Right.
There was not many people in social media, especially in Australia. So we largely relied on Pia going, "Hey guys, new yoga pants available. Click here."
Yeah.
That was also a time when Pia was getting 100% reach, as we
Right,
all were.
yeah.
So then, you know,
That doesn't exist anymore.
No,
Yeah.
so that was the, you know, the equivalent of 10 huge influencers.
Yeah.
Now that's changed. So now we're relying a little bit more on our friends and family. Not family, really, but, you know.
Mom and dad, they're going to
Can you
church.
buy
Go
something,
buy
please?
something. No, but like the girls that we particularly gift to are also people that are self-starters that have their own businesses as well.
So it's like a give and take.
Yeah, so
Well-
then when they have something come out, they'll gift it to Pia, and then we kind of all mutually scratch each other's backs.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we wanted to build a label that was independent of us. So it's not just like our merch, but we started off with me modeling it all. But now if you actually look at the website, we use other influencers as
right.
the models and stuff like that. So it's by us, but it's not just us sort
Yeah,
of
it's
promoting
becoming more
it.
of a brand.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
can stand alone.
That's really awesome. Do you ever feel, because it goes back to like filming things, right? And like the passport situation. Do you ever feel like, because I personally, I know the answer for myself for this. Do you ever feel like you never get to really live in the moment?
Yes.
Especially-
No, go on, you say this.
I just feel like there's so many things out there now that I have to do to be an influencer. Like it used to be so easy, like,
Right.
okay, my photo for Instagram, and then we started YouTube.
Yeah.
Great. Then all of a sudden I had to do Insta stories and now
Yeah.
IGTV
Yeah.
and like all these different platforms.
Podcast.
And now a podcast, and now like something cool happens. What do? Do you pick up
Right.
your vlog camera? Do you go on Insta stories? Like I'm so overwhelmed now with all the different platforms that I have to constantly maintain
Right.
that it's like sometimes you're not living in the moment.
It's very difficult because we get, and this is no way a complaint, but we do get to go to some really incredible places. But if you ask me about them, I can only tell you what I saw in the vlog.
Right.
Because I have been to, Bora Bora, but do I like it? I don't really know. I
Yeah.
got picked up at the airport. I got shown what I was meant to show, and I took some great video, and that was it.
Right.
So like this week we're here at Coachella. We have one job that lasts like 4 hours on Saturday.
Okay.
And then we're here to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're going to put down the camera?
And we've done 3 Coachellas. Put down the camera. We did 2 Coachellas in a row 2 years ago, like week 1 and week 2 with brands. And then last year we just did 1 week. So we've done 3 Coachellas now. And honestly, I haven't really enjoyed it. I've had a great time meeting people and working with the brands. That was cool. But I can honestly say I didn't see one artist play at Coachella.
People think it's so easy to, like, people think we're just like frolicking around on the beach
I know.
and relaxing. But realistically, you're doing like constant photo shoot. You're doing the production, the styling, the hair and makeup for it. You know, everything that goes into creating content is so much more. So for us, it felt like last Coachella was literally a 3-day long photo shoot.
Yeah.
Rather than going and like partying and enjoying ourselves.
No, I feel you. Like when I was daily vlogging, man, like I don't really remember those days unless I go back and watch the video.
That's right. You watch the video for the memories, which is also cool.
Which is cool.
I'm actually super happy that we started the vlog, because what happened was we were out at the Sydney Opera House taking a photo for Pia, wearing some clothing for Instagram, and this was just when her Instagram was starting to pop. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, how would we explain this job to your kids? You know, you were a lawyer and now you're taking photos and getting the kind of the same amount of money. This is insane. And I had her little point and click camera in my hand, and I just held it up and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to vlog this. And that's how the vlog started.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason other than I thought this career that she had gone down was just so crazy. And the money she was making was more than me now. And I was getting mad. I'm like, this is nuts. Like, we got to record this. This might be a 6-week bubble, or this might be a 6-year career, but I don't know. But I want to record it because this is insane.
We also kind of found that because we were doing it together and we have, you know, we goof around a lot. We don't take it that seriously. So it kind of turned out that the better content was the behind the scenes of us trying to get the photo rather than the final, like, polished photo. And so filming that and just kind of like showing people our real personalities was just a massive change for us, because we had my Instagram. I already had like, you know, 1 million or something on Instagram when we started YouTube.
Right.
And so it was kind of the first time that all these people who were following me even heard us like speak, or like got kind of a window into our relationship.
That's like the best thing ever, because like when you see a girl on Instagram, you're like, I wonder what her voice sounds like.
Yeah.
And this was before IG stories too.
100%.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like no one ever knew, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people often have this kind of opinion about a girl that's happy to just go and put herself in a bikini on the internet. You know, I know I do.
Yeah.
So like to actually put a voice to the face.
Yeah,
It's special.
That's why I love YouTube. It's because it adds personality.
Yeah,
100%.
Because you don't really know anything about the person when you see them, because it's based on first appearance.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why I love vlogs, because people can actually like get to know you.
It's the real you as
and
well.
people come up to you even if they watch your content and they're like, yo, what up, Kane and Pia? Like, and you're like, well, I don't know you.
Last,
you know?
I know. They're
Funny
like,
story. Last year at Coachella, a girl came up to me and said, "How's your ear?" And I was like, "What? How do you know?"
Yeah.
Because 2 weeks earlier, I'd gone deaf in my left ear,
Oh,
completely deaf, had an ear infection, and I was out for like 3-4 weeks, couldn't hear a thing. And this girl came up to me and said, "How's your ear?" And I was so freaked out. And then I realized it was because we vlogged it a month beforehand, and she was following along, and she was genuinely concerned, you know?
Isn't it crazy?
People really, really connect with you on video.
yeah, and
which
it's
I
crazy
love.
because when you travel, you kind of like, you look at the numbers of views and all that, but it's really hard to like put that into, oh, this many people actually sat and watched us for 10 minutes, you know?
Would you say, because you do travel a lot, do the majority of your views come from US? Do they come from the country you go to? Do you, like, where's your demographic,
So,
would you say?
The majority of our channel audience is US.
Okay.
But if we go to a country and we make a good video, that it's almost like the country receives it well, and then they just share it.
Okay.
So for example, the Maldives video, which had 12 million views, which got pulled, I think 8 million came from Maldives and Sri Lanka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were watching it going, wow. I think also they don't get to see what their country looks like.
Right.
So it's a nice way for them to kind of experience that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys get that back. That's kind of
I'm
bullshit.
sure we will.
Like, it's so stupid.
It doesn't matter.
Where do you guys see the future? Because I stopped vlogging.
Yeah.
And I don't
Why?
really...
Because I like your vlogs.
Yeah,
your
we
vlogs
love
are very
them.
cinematic, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, which is why I loved your vlogs, and I was always doing research on what you were filming and what camera you were using because I really loved your like LUTs and your skin tones, and I was like, how the fuck does this guy do this?
Half Malaysian. That's why.
Yeah, you guys have really nice smooth skin, and my Sony A7R just doesn't capture my skin.
I'll color grade you.
I'm gonna need a tutorial. Why did I stop vlogging? Well, I did it for 2 years, and I was kind of burnt out. I felt like every single video was the same shit. I wasn't leaving my house. I wasn't doing anything, and I felt like I got to the point where I knew what I needed to do during the day and how much stuff I needed to film and what my clickbait was going to be, that it just became not what it was.
And the burnout is real, hey?
Yeah.
I've found that straight after the wedding, we'd kind of had so much build up to this big day. And it wasn't your regular build up. It was the wedding plus also, hey guys, we've got 7 videographers, we've got drones, we've got this. So we were trying to arrange kind of a media event and a wedding, which was the really bad way to kind of approach it. But I wanted the video to be my favorite video. And even now we watch it so many times. It captured every moment that I wanted to capture, which is great. But man, after that wedding, we didn't do anything for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. We put all the weight we lost for the wedding straight back on because we just sat there and vegged out. We had crepes like 4 days in a row.
You should though.
Yeah. We just
because your whole like, and that's what goes back to like living life for a video.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even pick up the camera for like a month after.
That's how I am right now. I tried to vlog the other day, and I'm just like, "Fuck, man, this doesn't feel right. It's just weird."
And you've got to do it. You've got to do it because you want to do it,
right?
Otherwise,
I want to do it. Trust me, but I'm just like, I don't want to do the same thing that I was doing. I don't want to pick up the camera and be like, "Good day, donation, welcome back." But first, I don't want to go through that format again. I want to I kind of wanted to take a break and see if my brain kind of comes up with some new ideas and new formats and new ways to do it, rather than just falling into that, same production or whatever, like a newscast.
Because
every
it's
day,
easy to fall into that kind of routine.
That's what I was looking for.
And then the audience know what to expect. And if you're not keeping it fresh, then they're not that interested.
And your life looks boring.
Yeah. We did that right after the wedding. We literally took a month off and then came back with season 3 of the vlogs had different titles, came, just sat there and just took some time and just reinvented it a little bit.
But don't you find that's a problem though? Because I know you. I know your life isn't boring. I see your IG stories, you're having a great time. But the problem I think with social media is we're all comparing all the time. And I got into this habit and I've had to stop. I'd wake up and immediately my alarm would go off, so I'd grab my phone. And once it's in my hand, almost by default, I would turn the alarm off, swipe up, bottom right, open Instagram, scrolling before I'd even clean the sleep out of my eyes. At which point I'm like, oh no, they're at catch. Oh no, they went to Warwick last night. Oh,
FOMO.
Why? I've got a great life. I'm married. I've got a dog. I've got a nice house. Why am I feeling so crap within 15 seconds of waking up? And it was because I'm comparing myself. So I get what you're saying about the kind of thing with the vlogs, because I know your life isn't boring, but also you're constantly comparing, saying, well, I saw what Yes Theory did, I saw what Logan did, I saw what, I've got to beat that vlog and that vlog. And I see people buying new cameras, and I'm like, oh, I need a new camera now. And I don't. But I want one.
To be honest, I think that's why we find it a lot easier to vlog when we're traveling. Like when we're at home, say we're at home for a month or so, we find it a lot harder to pick up the camera because we're just in this environment that is kind of normal to us, and there's nothing exciting. It's not like we can walk around and be like, wow, look at this, because it's just our normal environment. So then we feel like we need to come up with ideas for the vlog that we haven't done before. Whereas when we're traveling, it comes really natural to us to pick up the camera and kind of discover new places with the audience.
Yeah. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast. I kind of went down that little rabbit hole of comparing myself. Jake got this mansion for $8 million. Logan bought a $7 million mansion. This guy got this car. This guy got that car. And I'm like, holy fuck, all these dudes are leveling up so hard and just dropping cash. And I've talked about this, so then I was like, oh, let me try this. Spent this much money, and it didn't work for me.
No.
And I had to really hone in on because that's not me.
No.
I wear skinny jeans and Vans.
But imagine how much harder it is for girls as well. And I noticed this this time last year actually at Coachella, because I follow all these girls and guys from all around the world, and then when you see them in real life, they're so different, visually.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you want to retouch your photos crazy so that I can't even recognize you, that's fine, no drama. But just the fact that everyone that I saw looked so different in real life meant that they're having that thought as well.
Yeah, of course.
They're all comparing, they're all feeling inadequate, they're all feeling insecure, and they're all then trying to fix themselves up to look like this norm that doesn't actually exist.
Right. And it's
And
like,
that's
do we
so
even
dangerous.
do we even go to Coachella anymore for actually wanting to go to Coachella, or do we go there so people know that we went to Coachella?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I go and I get fucking wasted and I have a great ass time. Like, you guys saw me like sleeping on a picnic table last year. Like,
It wasn't your finest moment,
yeah.
but you know.
But like, I go and have a good ass time, and that's something that I've actually learned to do more.
Yeah.
Especially in the last like 3 months since my life's shifted so much. Like, I've really stopped giving a fuck about what everyone else is doing. And I even read this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
yeah, it's a great book, right?
Yeah. And I had him on the podcast, guys. That'll come out in May when he drops his new book. But yeah, man, I've really just tried to focus on me and not really give a shit what other people have, what other people are doing.
Yeah, it's
And
hard. It's hard in LA though,
it is hard.
because everyone is beautiful. Everyone's hustling, 1,000%. Everyone's trying to kind of outdo everyone else, which is good. I mean, it's a nice entrepreneurial spirit to have, but at what cost to your own mental health?
Right.
You've got to kind of find that balance.
But I like your attitude, because at the end of the day, I feel like if you're having more fun and then you quickly pop an IG story up or something,
Right.
it's so transparent when you're genuinely having fun, you know? So like the way we try to view it is like, if we can have more fun, the content will be better. So every time we go to events, we don't just go in like quickly say hi to people and then bail and get out of there. We always go, we'll have a couple of champagnes. We try to make a lot of fun out of it. And I think that sort of comes across in the content.
I think it shows, for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you think the future of like social media is? Like, do you think, because it's saturated more than ever now, right?
Yes.
And obviously you got in at the right time on Instagram. I got in at the right time with the vlogs and Instagram. Right place, right time. It's like, how the fuck does someone become a social media star these days?
Everyone is a social media
Yeah.
star now.
We've got a thing in Australia now called nano influencers, which are influencers, I think, with less than 1,000 followers.
Oh, that's
So that's everyone.
That's a thing.
okay.
Yeah.
They have a name for them?
And they're getting jobs.
It's really interesting because we
Really?
see the other side of things with Slinky. So we see people on like literally 1,000, 3,000 followers, and they email and they're like, "Hi, can you send me all this for free and I'll feature you?" And we're like, wow, like this has become such a mammoth
Yeah.
industry, and every single person, it's so easy for someone to take a photo, face tune it a little bit, upload it and build a bit of an audience. But that's why we like the fact that we've gone over to YouTube, because
Right.
there's so much more
You
effort that
can't
goes
face
into
tune
it.
YouTube.
No.
Right. Yeah.
You
I mean, you can.
Really?
I mean, Jordan's
How?
Can we get
there's
a tutorial on that?
well, you can Facetune like at your face actually with DaVinci.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about
Write
this
that
because
down.
Yeah,
I definitely want to look a little bit thinner in tomorrow's vlog.
You'll have to talk to Jordan Taylor. I don't know how to do it.
Like
Okay.
But he
six
can
steps.
definitely like smooth your face.
I'm going to
and
The
do, like-
Rock next week.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. DaVinci is a whole nother platform that I don't even.
I mean, I think for me, the future of social media is definitely video based.
What do you think vertical? Because IGTV is pushing so hard for this shit, and I think it's just not
So
cool.
I've done a couple in the last few, because my engagement's a little bit down on my Instagram.
Hell fucking yeah. Preaching. You're preaching. Everyone's is. They changed the algorithm. I used to get 700,000 views on a story. I get 120,000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not bitching and moaning about 120,000, but like
It's depressing,
700 to 120 is
the
big
thing that
drop.
gets me is there's no, you can like you can pay to promote a post
Right.
within Instagram, but you can't pay to promote to your own audience.
I know.
So like I've spent all this time building an audience over here. Pia spent all that time building an audience over there, and we can never actually hit them.
Yeah.
That kills me.
But I've done a couple of IGTV like styling videos, and they're so much fun to do. Like, it doesn't take long for us to edit them and get them up. And because I put them on IGTV, and there's not many people putting
Right.
stuff on IGTV,
They do well.
They did quite well. Like, they were on the explore page and
Did
everything.
they drive
So-
traffic to your actual page though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just got to start uploading IGTV
Yeah,
videos.
just
Yeah.
your amazing fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Do that.
Yeah.
Styling videos.
I think horizontal video is always going to be though.
Me too.
100%.
Because your eyes see that way. Your eyes
Yeah.
don't see vertical.
No.
You know, like
I find 16 by 9 very, very 9 by 16
yeah.
very restrictive.
yeah. You can't show anything.
No.
But it was so disheartening when it first came out, because we were like, oh my gosh, we've been putting all this effort into YouTube content.
Right.
We could upload this on here, except it's just in a completely wrong
Right.
format.
Right. That's
So-
why I flipped it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
you can't show shit in a vertical format.
I also
you know?
feel like with IGTV, you're best off at like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's still got to be snackable content. It can't be like a 10, 15 minute vlog.
Right. No one's because Instagram's just built like when you go on Instagram, you're like, all right, I'm here to spend like no more than 3 minutes.
It's a time killer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time killer.
So what do you think the future of social media is?
Oh man, if I knew, I'd be the biggest social media star in the world.
TikTok? Are we supposed to be doing TikTok?
No, we're not.
We're too old for that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's cringy at this point, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I think what I've kind of seen a shift in is people are kind of, the vlogging was huge, right? And I saw people really enjoy that, but vlogging got to the point where it was all clickbait. It got to the point where it was all just like, you know, a million Fruit Loops in my pool. Like why? Like very stupid
Why?
shit.
Shock content, yeah.
Yeah, shock content. And I think people got sick of the bullshit. And what I've noticed in a shift in people consuming content, I've noticed people are enjoying podcasts a lot more. I've noticed people are enjoying documentaries a lot more, like the Shane Dawson series and even Logan doing the Flat Earth. I think people want, and I think this is a good idea for your podcast, people are looking for more content that they can learn from.
Yeah.
And like educate them rather than like, whoa, you have a million Fruit Loops in your pool? So fucking cool.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next video. They want like knowledge. They want to be able to like relate even more. Like you think you open up on your vlogs, like the shit I've said on my podcast, I would have never said in my vlogs.
Serious.
But it's like people just want to know so much more than you're already giving them.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
to know fucking everything, and they want you to be honest and transparent. So I think that's where content is going. You literally have to be open about everything.
Yeah.
No privacy.
Right. Really excited about that.
Yeah. But that's where I would say that I've seen it feel. Because like, look what people like to consume. They like to consume the Kardashians, where they think it's reality TV.
Yeah.
They don't know it's scripted reality. They like to consume the Shane Dawson
how do
series
people-
because it's real. It's around drama. It's like, oh fuck, like because people have real things happening in their lives that they want to
Yeah.
be able to relate to through other people. So it's
Yeah.
like if they see that you guys are a married couple and you guys fight, like, oh, we're not the only ones, you know? Like
Yeah.
relationships are fucking hard. It's not all perfect like, you know, me and Kylie perceived it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like
See, that's the thing with our vlogs. I don't want to put, if we have an argument,
Right.
firstly, if
obviously you can't put that shit out there.
but the question is, should you?
Right.
You know, because otherwise you're kind of putting this one-sided view
why-
of life
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's why I like the podcast, because I can talk about it. I can't put the actual argument.
You're not going to
right?
like mid-argument turn on the camera.
Right. Yeah,
'cause-
exactly. Because that's not right.
Yeah.
But like on my podcast, I'll be like, yeah, so like, you know, we had arguments about this and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and like you can learn from it. You know what I'm saying? So you could teach people where, you know, you're separate from the conversation. You're not as heated. You're not as emotional.
Yeah,
So it's like
right.
you kind of look back like you guys do and laugh at it. It's like, wow, we argued about, you know, leaving the dishes in the dish.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's nice. I like this format. Like because you're just sitting down, you're sharing things and you're sharing thoughts. So I guess you get a lot deeper. But that's interesting what you say about the content on YouTube, because we're like in this constant battle between, do we upload less regularly but really nicely put together content, thought through with a decent storyline, nice cinematics
Right.
and all that sort of stuff? Or is it quantity? You know,
Right.
do you just make sure, because the whole daily vlogging was such a thing that sometimes if you open a daily vlog, one day might be kind of average, right? But
right.
you're still uploading it because you're like, I've got to constantly have that
Yeah.
quantity of content going out. So, but with the Shane Dawson things, like, you know, he doesn't upload as regularly, but
He
these are
uploads like once every 4 months.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know?
But
So
it's a dangerous situation to be in when our content is governed by the way the algorithm is pushing content.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're saying last year daily vlogs were popping, so a lot of people, maybe yourselves included, were vlogging daily because you knew it'd get more views.
Right.
Maybe not because you wanted to, maybe not because you even had the content ready to go,
Right.
but because you knew it would work.
And I'm the same as you. I love quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and you are cinematic camera guys.
Yeah.
I had to bite my tongue and really take a drop in quality for the quantity.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it sucked, but I knew I had to for the business side of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real shame. As a creator,
Yeah, of course.
you want to be creative.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. That brings us to like a 45-minute episode here.
Wow.
I appreciate you guys being on. You guys could check out their brand, Slinky. You guys, I'll link everything down below. You're
Thank
going to
you.
start the
Thank
podcast
you.
soon when you get back.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Check out their vlog channel. Let's hope they get their 12 million views back.
Yes.
Mateys, it's been a crikey of a show today. We caught some wallabies and had some Foster's beer in the Barbie. We'll see you guys next time on Livin' Large. Deuces.